this is biggest chance for us. I think for me and for Daniel, you know, just show boxing class, world boxing class for people, you know, like big present to people, to fans.
I'm so focused. I'm so ready. I want it.
Gennady Golovkin, Daniel Jacobs for middleweight supremacy. Well, this will be one of those, like we used to say in big-time heavyweight boxing, you're going to want to have your food and beverage right there before the fight, because I expect fireworks early and often. Consider the fact Triple G has 23 straight knockouts. Daniel Jacobs, 12 straight himself, not too shabby.
Golovkin's putting a lot of pressure on Brooks.
Brooks' face right now is showing the effect of the power of Triple G.
Golovkin is better known as Triple G, and I've come up with what I think those G's should be. Gargantuan power, a granite chin, and guile to go along with all of that. That comprises the guy that I think is the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet in Gennady Golovkin.
Jacobs doing a great job. Vicious right hand. Quillen on inline skates. And the referee has already stopped the fight.
Jacobs, it is a very good fighter. Not a great fighter, in my opinion, but a very good fighter. Good technician, not a great technician. Really good offense. Okay defense, not great defense. Pretty good athlete. And again, really big-time power. But there's a but, and that but is the chin. I was ringside when he got knocked out in his only blemish against Purog, and we also saw him knocked down by a left hook from very light-punching Sergio Mora. Well, he won't be facing a guy like Mora Saturday night in New York at Madison Square when he takes on Triple G, the guy who I think possesses the best power in all of boxing, pound for pound. You know, there's been some criticism of Gennady Golovkin. I don't know how you do it, that he's faced lesser guys, smaller guys. Perfect example was last fight against Kell Brook. I think that fight showed me a lot in the fact that Gennady didn't have his A game. But nevertheless went in there and beat the guy who I think may be the best welterweight on the planet. So I think these criticisms of him will be put to rest, because he's fighting a guy in Daniel Jacobs who's a bigger guy. He's taller by a few inches. He's got about 3 inches at reach. And when you look at Danny Jacobs, he's overcome the big C, and that's cancer. I think he considers himself so fortunate and so blessed just to be able to be alive, let alone, you know, fighting Triple G for a unification at $160. So I think that will really motivate him, and again, not just motivate, but also at the same time ease him in that, look, you know, he's faced a bigger opposition when it comes to the reality of life and what's the most important thing. And I think that has to mean, you know, something when you've gone in there against that. 35 consecutive knockouts for these two. That is tremendous power. And I think the way, and we've already said this, the way these guys match up, I think that it'll produce some fireworks right from the beginning. At the end of the day, what I think is going to happen is that the better fighter, the more powerful fighter, the guy who I think is the best fighter pound for pound on the planet today, Gennady Golovkin, will be forced into knocking Jacobs out, and I think it's going to come before round number 7. So you don't want to miss Golovkin versus Jacobs on HBO pay-per-view Saturday night from the Big Apple in Madison Square Garden.